Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Reverse Polarity, the show where we talk about movies, music, food, fun, and excitement. Yeah, and welcome back. Sorry we missed last week. I was just really tired. I was just so tired. If you caught the show before it, you knew I was tired because I was falling asleep during that show. So, and I forgot to watch the movie. So,
Yeah,
I don't know why in my brain I thought I had more time.
that's how it always goes. You
Yeah,
always have more time till you don't.
yeah, and I was like, wait a minute, like it's today. Oops,
Mhm.
my bad. You know. So, but no, how are you doing? How's it
Doing
going? How's
good.
how's work? How's the new job?
Oh, it's great. It's actually a little more stressful, but learning everything and just getting in the zone again. When you've done something for 20 years,
Oh yeah.
you're like an expert at it. You can close your eyes. You don't even have to think about work. You're just doing work.
Yeah, you're going through the motions.
And now I'm in a new job where I have to think about every single thing I do. So yeah, well, it's going to take me a while to get adjusted and just kind of get in the zone.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what happens. I mean,
Yeah. You switch it up.
yeah, I mean, I feel like I go through the motions every day.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
these
that's
weeks
like
have been.
before. I wouldn't even truly feel awake until like 2 hours at work.
Oh
But
really?
I'm doing like the same things and doing it safely ever how I did it. It was just so automatic to me. I didn't have to think about it.
Wow. Yeah.
So
No, it's funny because it's like I go to work and I'm like, all right, I got work to do, but then I have all this other work I have to do that it's like, oh, I
hmm
need to get this done. I need to get that done because I didn't get it done last night. And it's like, crap, when am I going to have time to do that? And I always laugh because it's like, I don't have time to do that. Like today, last night, I had to finish a bunch of stuff. I got home really late because, for after the hospital. And then it was like, I got to get these PowerPoints done. And, next thing you know, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. And then you're like, okay, I got to get this done.
yeah.
I gotta check my tickets because I gotta make sure I have tickets and I have seats. And then you're like, oh shit, now it's 1:45, and then I'm gonna go. Oh crap, I forgot to do that. Like shit.
Damn.
You know, so tonight will be no different because
That's the bonus of me having a smaller YouTube channel. Like I got all my video shots Sunday that I need to get shot. I was like, okay, typically I edit on Sundays and I already had the
right,
video shot. I was like, I'll just do it through the week. And then as the week was going, I just was getting off work later, having to tie up loose ends. It's like, I'm not editing this video. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully I work on it tomorrow on Saturday, but I depend on what comes up.
dude. HVAC for 20 years. My heart goes out to you. That's brutal.
Ooh, that's tough, man. To
Yeah,
like crawling in confined
yeah.
spaces, hot attics.
My father-in-law worked for the distributors for his whole life, basically like from 18 or 16 till when he retired, just outside of 60 something. And it's like, fuck, that's crazy. I mean, there again, I've been doing car stereo at a car stereo shop for 33 years come July.
Yeah.
So my first place I worked at, I was there for 21 years. So I can understand that.
Oh,
I'm
he's
in,
in
I'm in
wholesale.
wholesale. Oh, so there you go.
He's
Yeah,
selling it to the chumps that have to crawl in the
yeah,
attics.
yeah. So that's what my father-in-law did. He started out cleaning the bathrooms, and then after he was running the place, and they
Yeah.
wanted him to become president, and he was like, I'm done. I'm done with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you still the same
Yeah.
company, Rob? Just different position?
Yep. Yep. Got a promotion, so that was pretty nice. I held off for many, many years, not wanting to even apply for any of them. But management change. It's a lot better environment now than it has been in the past. So yeah, took my shot.
Yeah, I'm gonna apply for management. I think I stand a good chance.
Maybe.
I don't.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You already are. You just don't have the title.
What's the menu on St. Patrick's Day? Is
Do you
that Friday?
celebrate? Do you celebrate St. Patrick's
It's
Day?
my mom's birthday. That's it.
Oh, Okay.
Yeah.
I don't really celebrate it.
Is it tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Oh crap! She was here tonight too.
Uh-oh.
Well, no, she's gone now. I literally walked in, said hi, gotta go, love you. So
Yeah.
you know, man. Ah, all right. I guess I got to figure that out. I was planning on working late tomorrow night because I got some stuff I needed to do. So I might have to. Oh, there's not enough hours in the day.
Stay up a little later, man.
Well, no, I need to stay at work. I have a project I need to get done for my Canada trip, and it's like it's just been
hell.
Yeah,
man. That's kind of what got me this weekend because I wanted to rebuild the amp rack in the Trooper.
Mm-hmm.
And then it came down to decision like I have a very limited time. I can't film this and get it done. Like I had to make a choice. Either I'm going to work on it, and then let me give a quick shout out to Kicker and Ernie specifically. So I'm like I want to put the snowman in. I'm going to modify as little as I can on the car, but modify the snowman. So I modified them, but guess what? I lost something when I reviewed them. The stupid ass lock washer, the one that actually holds the bolt in place. And I was like, God, I have one. So I put one in. I go to put the next one on. Can't find it anywhere.
Nice.
So I had to hit up Ernie, and he got him out like first thing Monday. So
very nice.
I got
very nice. I'm sure Sue will be finding some place with corned beef and cabbage because that's one of her favorites. So, I drive I drive a concrete manager, asked to move into dispatch position, and they said, nope, you're a driver and you're going to retire driver. I'm currently the only mixer truck that knows what. Yeah. I mean, that's the problem, man. I got to be honest with you. It's like an installer. Like if you can find an installer that wants to be an installer, you let him be an installer. But the minute he doesn't want to be an installer, it's tough because it's so hard to find people to do any job anymore. Nobody wants to do anything. Everyone wants to answer the phone or become a management and I can understand that. It's like there's only your body can only do what it does for so long. I mean, I'm doing my best to prolong it as long as possible. I mean, but there again, even me doing what I'm doing to be active and you know, it's taking, it could be doing the opposite. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
You know, so, God, fun.
Yeah, that's like me working with my back for 20 years, you know, working in the heat and stuff, and then going to this job, a job that technically you should probably have a master's to be in the job that I'm in. But the company's like, like I said, they change all management. They're looking at people on the floor. Like they were willing to use your experience.
Versus I mean, there again, the ensign is the guy, but he doesn't know as much as the sergeant.
Yeah, so, for sure.
You know, the piece of paper sometimes only gets you so far.
Yeah.
So
except on very complex Excel formulas, pivot tables, that's been rough.
But you can take an Excel class.
Oh yeah. And I do YouTube basically.
Yeah. Because I mean, it's not like you can't take. I mean, Haley, they taught that in high school. You could become Excel certified. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, geez, wow, really? I mean, don't get me wrong.
I'm pretty proficient. I'm very proficient in it now that I've been in the job. But the guy in corporate that I answer to, he is like your car audio level skills in Excel. So he's just. I'm like, oh, I just come out of college, level. He's like, oh no, son, we've been like, yeah, we're gonna do this. But it's good. It's good to learn from somebody like that.
No, in there, it's like because I just use the Apple Suite. So they have like, and for me that's plenty. Like I don't need anything outside of that. Like I can put together an Apple PowerPoint, and in no time flat. My biggest problem is I always like to use apps outside of it and create artwork and bring it in. And then they'll be like, oh, you need to change. And you're like, no, I can't. That's artwork. Yeah.
That time has passed.
And so, but all right. We sidejagged. I'm sorry. We spent 10 minutes talking about work, which is usually, I mean, honestly, whatever. I mean, it's just work. We all got to do it. And in today's work, we had to watch there's go. What do I? What was this?
We have ghosts.
Okay, so you watched it.
Yeah.
This is one of those times I got to get your take on it before I can even talk about it. So give me your take.
I thought it was all right. I mean, it wasn't horrible. It wasn't great. There was some funny scenes in it. I like the guy that played the ghost. I can't remember his name, but he's been in a bunch of shows
Yeah, he's
and movies that I like, you know. And it was kind of funny. The premise was funny that the kid was not scared and he kind of wanted to be involved with the ghost. And it went on a little too long.
Okay.
But I didn't hate it.
Right.
Like I've hated a lot of movies we watched, and I had a few laughs. If I had to go on a scale from 1 to 10, I'm gonna give it like a 4 or 5.
I mean, and I feel like that's Netflix kind of how they are now. Like they're not going for 10s,
right?
You know, they're just buying 4 or 5s. They're every now and then we might get a 6, but they're middle on the road the shit out of us. Then it's just killing me. I agree with everything you said. I think it went on a little too long. I thought the concept was right on point. To me, it reminded me of. I feel like it was written by the same guy that wrote "Don't Look Up." You know,
probably
because they're just taking, they're taking how we are in society today and just, I would want to say, making it fake by pushing it so far, but then in the reality, I go, no, everything that happened in that would happen. Like if there was a ghost on call like that, you know, we would totally. That's exactly how it would be.
Yeah, we're starting a YouTube channel, obviously.
Yeah.
But the part they forget is like they have to get their 1,000 subscribers. This is where they ever get paid.
Oh yeah, but there again, it's a movie. It's a movie.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
but obviously the brand deals and stuff are going to come right away. Whether you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, but there again, most people don't understand how YouTube works. So
yeah,
it's totally believable. Everyone thinks you put up a video, you come viral, you're Chewbacca lady, you made $50,000 on the internet, and life is great. And the reality is no.
Because even once you meet the requirements, it may take them 6 months to review your account to start getting paid.
Yeah, but regardless of that, I mean, the nuts and bolts of it don't make any sense, but that's okay because there again, most people don't understand how that works anyway, so it's perfectly fine.
Right.
But you know, it's like, how much crap can we twist into a movie? So you have like Broken Home Family, we got the love, teenage relationship movie, we got guy that was, it's like, dude, they put so much into this, it was like, it's not making it any better.
No, like no care, like I didn't have attachment to any character in there.
No, it was,
and it was much. Like they were just like whatever. The ghost would probably be the biggest one, and it's like, but he's not talking half the movie. No, he's not talking,
at all.
Yeah, he doesn't talk. So
no, so I mean, honestly, the only part of the movie that had any emotion to it at all, but even at that point, it was just kind of like, was the ending.
Yeah,
and the suspension of disbelief by that point was so far gone. It was like, wait, like this is really gonna happen? He's gonna meet his daughter on a beach. The ghost is just gonna be waiting for him. Like, all right, come on, man. I mean, enough is enough. It's like definitely a time filler. Oh yeah, for sure. It's like, holy crap. I mean,
and then you had the ghost paranormal Karen chick.
Oh, oh yeah.
It's unlikable from the very first moment you see her.
Which she was supposed to be.
She's supposed to be.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the role she always plays.
Yeah.
So I mean, So I mean, there again, there was no moment in this movie where you were like, yeah, I get it.
Well, and plus, like the dad's, he's a scumbag.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. If you in there again, that's why it's almost not even worth talking about the movie, because it's like, if you dissect the movie, it's like, oh no, this movie sucked. Yeah.
You want to know the funniest part of the movie?
The ending, when it was over and I could get up. Oh no, what?
No, when the kid was gonna say something to the mom and he hit him with the grapefruit in the head.
Yeah.
that part, I literally laughed out loud.
Yes.
And right. Cassie's like, did she just throw a piece of fruit at him? I was like, yeah, this was the best part of the movie.
It was. Yeah, you're right. It was.
Yeah.
and there again, there's nothing to be attached to in this movie. There's nothing that you take away. I mean, it's not even a popcorn movie. It's literally like, you got something different. Yeah, let's just watch this. And you could get up halfway through this movie, come back and watch it 2 hours later, and be just as like, yeah, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So it wasn't. Yeah, 4. Sure, I'll give it a 4. I mean, it was better than 6 Underground, I guess. Or
well, here's the thing. I think like we're so skewed from the bad movies that we watched that when it's like it's not horrible, so we're not going to rip it apart.
Oh no, this movie is a piece of shit. Like if this movie was in the theater, this movie would have been flushed down the toilet. Like they would have literally just cooked this movie and just been like, don't even waste your time. But that's what that's what is happening now, is that no one's making great movies. And when they do, they're like, I don't know. It's almost like it's like, I feel like they're muddying the water. Follow me on this for a second. So you hire these, what would normally be great movie directors, and you ask them to do something for a straight to Netflix or Hulu or HBO or something like that. And it's like, so you get these guys that are meant to do this big thing, and you've asked them to do the small thing, and then they have to do it again. So they do 2 or 3 of these small things, and then they finally get asked to do a big thing. And they're so used to doing the small things that it's like the big thing they make sucks.
Yeah.
You know, apparently, did you see Ant-Man and the Wasp?
No.
Or whatever?
Is it supposed to suck too?
Dude, I was talking to Haley's friend last night that apparently I didn't know was a big Marvel fan. And she's like, it sucked. And I was like, really? She's like, yeah, it was horrible. There's like 3 scenes in the whole movie. The rest of it was crap. And I was like,
Marvel's been sucking pretty bad.
Oh, dude, Black Panther blew chunks. And we both, and that was fun. I was talking to her. She's like, oh, yeah, the movie was terrible. And she's like, it was way too long and didn't go anywhere. And I said, and when you got done watching, you were like, wait a minute, we didn't do anything. We literally didn't move the needle forward or backwards, but we killed a whole bunch of people. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's make that movie.
Well, and there's such a problem with Marvel to sidejag is they've had this big grand moments. They built movies to build these big grand moments. And now if they want to tell a small story, it's so like you're inconsequential to the universe anymore. Because that guy that the villain in Black Panther would literally be killed by the Avengers in
2 seconds.
30 minutes, you know. It's like, oh, wow.
Or he'd be dealt with. We can't say killed. He'd be dealt with.
He'd be dealt with, yeah.
Thor would come down, have a conversation with him, and be over.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, and there again, you know, she said there was like 2 or 3 things in the Ant-Man that were relevant to the bigger story. And it's like, I don't, let's stop worrying about the bigger story and let's make good small stories that eventually, because if you look at it, like, if you look at the first side of Marvel where you had like Iron Man and Captain America, these were all great stories.
Yeah.
They eventually led to something, but they were still all great stories. And it's weird. I don't know why we can't get just a generic great story, you know, anymore. It's like, no, we all have to suck.
They feel like they have to tie everything in now, and it's, I don't know. I will say that I've watched 2 episodes, and you didn't like The Mandalorian to begin with, but
I've watched all the episodes that are out except for last night's.
Yeah, I've been pretty disappointed in this season's episode.
Oh, but why? It's going nowhere so eloquently.
That's exactly what's happening. Nothing.
Dude, the first episode. Okay, so here. All right, let me. Okay, so the first episode that comes out is like 30 minutes long.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I know when I make a video for people, like, and if it's like going to be 7 minutes, and it's like it has to be 7 minutes because that's all the story that can fit into that 7 minutes. Everything outside of that isn't. It's like we can't go into that next part because this is all we have. Yeah. So, but you don't open with the shitty part. You don't open with 7 minutes, you know, or 30 minutes or 32 minutes. You open with an hour.
Yeah.
Like everybody knows this. Like I will never open a video with 7 minutes. You know, you're going to get 10, maybe 11 minutes. That's going to be the first video. The second or third one, sure, if you got to put a short one in there just because there's just a little piece of the story that needs to be told and it's not enough to be a full-size video, but it's more than something you can tag into another video. Bless
Ooh,
you.
Thank you.
Then you do that, but you don't open a series with garbage.
Yeah.
And then I think, oh fuck, Jesus, man.
It has certainly sucked. And up until this point, I was a pretty big fan of The Mandalorian. I thought it was pretty good. Second season wasn't perfect, but I thought it was good overall. And they had Ahsoka Tano on there, or what? How do you say it? Ahsoka Tano?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ahsoka Tano on there. So, which she's supposed to be getting her own series. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. She's gonna have her own series.
So far, it hasn't wowed me, but I've only watched 2 episodes. I'll continue to watch because I'm invested.
Oh no, and there again, I'm gonna watch it because let's be honest, there's nothing else to watch.
Well, and, dude, I tried to watch Andor. I just can't do it.
Oh, Andor's tough, man.
Yeah,
I mean, I had to finish it just because it's like,
yeah,
I was hoping it would go somewhere, but there again, didn't really go anywhere. Didn't really do anything. It's just kind of like, ooh, check it out. I mean, yeah.
And you know, we at one point we were kind of in the golden age of TV with Game of Thrones, and then COVID happened, and then we had a lot of
screwed up everything.
Well, we had a lot of good TV during COVID, but not good movies, and
we haven't gone back.
It's like everything's bad now.
Yeah, I mean, I miss the days of movie premieres that we were excited to see, and you know, apparently Cocaine Bear is what everyone wants to go watch.
Yeah, Kyle went and seen that.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, because he asked me, he's like, yeah, you want to go see that? And I was like, no thanks, man.
So did you finish watching Last of Us?
Yes, that's the one show that I truly think is good and worthwhile. It might, I think some depends on what your expectation is.
I got nothing. I don't even know.
And people that want to see a bunch of zombies, they're not really zombies, are infected. That's not what this show is about. It's not what the game was truly about. The only time you had zombies or infected in the game was because it was a game. Right. And in this one, they're trying to tell the story, and I think they've done a really good job.
Okay.
There are some lulls.
Oh, of course there is. There has
and to. Then they do one episode. It's like the one before the penultimate episode. They just completely sidejag, and that pissed a bunch of people off.
Oh yeah.
Fair enough, you know, because they weren't expecting that, but that was actually like a DLC pack of the game. So, yeah. That's the one episode that I liked it just because you get the backstory of the secondary character, Ellie.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I can see why people be mad.
So in other words, I should watch this.
Yeah, I think you'd like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I have some time. I got, you know.
Yeah. And all the episodes are out now. So if you can download them. Is HBO the one that you have to have connection to start the show?
Yeah, you got to have the app launched and ready to go. Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, that does suck.
Yeah, so it's like you get because you can't be on the plane and launch HBO and it won't pair up and it'll be like, oh, you guys suck ass. Like I hate you. You know, it's like why?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But that show was great. I did like The Last of Us, but there again, that's one of those shows that's going to come out once every 3 years or something.
Yeah, if that.
Yeah, and it's like we had Game of Thrones, that was cool. We had House of the Dragon, I like that, but 3 more years or whatever, 2-3 more years. So
yeah, which is ridiculous. Now, does it follow the same basic storytelling? See, I feel it can't because you know every episode of an HBO series there's a sex scene, there's a violent scene, and there's some of the plot. But this one I feel can't have the sex scene.
No, there's no sex scene. There are scenes of extreme violence, but they're pretty rare. This is mostly a plot and you learning the plight of these 2 main characters.
But I mean, there's probably where the violence falls in.
Yeah. The violence are the trials and the tribulations of.
Yeah, I was gonna say there has to be violence in every episode because there's no way they can make a plot-filled movie with infected people, as you call it. It's impossible.
And then you get, if you play the games, you get a lot of scenes that were directly out of the game that are very cool looking on the show.
Right.
That's a bonus. The extreme, seeing the clickers and the infected, the different levels of infected, it's cool, and you learn in the show as you do in the game how each different one works.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah, I'll give it a watch. Now
that's
that it's over, I can watch it.
yeah, it's worthwhile. I think you'll like it overall. There may be an episode or two that didn't suit you, but overall, I think you like
That's
it.
when I fall asleep.
Yeah. And
Um,
I've
yeah.
watched Outer Banks, the
Oh,
latest
okay.
season.
It's
I mean,
teenage
I
movie, man.
loved Outer Banks, but it's just there's only so much you can do, you know.
Yeah.
And now they're getting to third season. And your suspension of disbelief started out about here on the first season. You're here on the second season, and then now we're in the third or fourth, and it's like
Superheroes.
basically yes.
Yeah. I mean,
And they're teenagers.
yes.
So you start off with a Goonies level or that's midway through about a Goonies level
Yeah.
suspension of disbelief, and now we're at Fast and Furious 10.
Yes. Oh, and that's what happens though, because you have
Yeah.
nowhere else to go, because you can't. I mean, that's literally what happens. I mean, that's
Yeah.
you start making the character so cool. There's nowhere else to go but to the level that doesn't make any sense. I mean, look at John Wick. Literally, this is in John Wick and John Wick 4, which comes out. Like, the reality is that's like a month. It's literally a month of his life that we've been on this 6-year thing with.
Yeah.
But in that month, he's literally gone, or 2 months, maybe it might be 2 months at this. Maybe it's not.
Yeah.
It's not years.
It's like summer or something.
Yeah, it's like it is, because I mean, those movies just dovetailed into one another. And I mean, even this one, I think he even has his car from the second one. It looks like. So it's like, what the fuck,
Yeah.
So he had a transformer button where he just was like, boom, I'm it. All right, man. Thanks for stopping by tonight and having some fun with us.
Yeah.
Fro came back and is eating nachos. So what the heck? Yeah. So I started watching Picard season 3. Okay, so
Okay.
I didn't watch Picard season 2. I tried to. I wasn't feeling it. I don't know why. But then this one is like all the Next Generation characters are in it. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh.
Are they much older too?
Well, I mean, they're all their age. So yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
but it starts out with him and number 1, who's captain. And then like immediately they introduce Beverly Crusher as like, we got to go take care of this shit. And they just brought back the Klingon.
Worf.
Worf is back.
Yeah.
And it's like, and he's in it. So there's 2 stories going on at the same time. And so Worf just got introduced in the second story. We got Geordie LaForge's daughter.
What about Will?
Will's dead. I think Will died.
In the show. Really?
Yeah, I think he died in the show somewhere. I don't. They were talking, and I was like, yeah, I think he died. So
yeah.
But now we have a new character added, which is the kid, a kid that apparently. So like they talk about how Beverly Crusher, as soon as everyone ended, 20 years ago when it all broke up after the last crazy adventure, she just kind of disappeared. And didn't talk to anybody. Well, it turns out she did the 1950s go off and have a kid thing. And it was Picard and her, because, there was always that.
Yeah.
Beverly. Yeah. And so, well, she went off and had his kid. And then because his life was always so hectic, it just never seemed like the right moment.
And she's got to be, I had a huge crush on her back in the day, but she's got to be in her 60s now.
If not older, man. I'm thinking
yeah.
older. Like probably 60s. Yeah, definitely like at some point in the 60s. Oh, no doubt. I mean, it's weird. Will is a god. He's out exploring. Oh, well, there you go. Thank you for filling that in. I didn't know. Was he in like season 2, maybe? Because I never watched season 2, so
I feel like I should watch. I feel like I should watch it because I always loved like Next Generation.
Look, season 1 was fabulous. Like I enjoyed season 1. Like that was the best. Season 2, like I said, I just couldn't get into it, and I didn't give it a chance. Really, I'll probably go back and watch it. But season 3 so far, I've watched the first 3 episodes, and it was just like, oh, it's so awesome.
Yeah.
So
Well, I never consider myself a Star Trek fan, but like I watched all the movies that came out.
yeah, yeah.
I watched all the Next Generation. I watched a
Well,
lot of the old ones.
yeah, but why? Okay, so and that's one of those things that is kind of like why just because like for example, like I've seen all the 007s, okay,
Yeah.
but I'm not what you'd call a 007 fan. Do I like the movies? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I like the character that Daniel Craig played? Yeah, but I'm not going out of my way. Like there's plenty of shit in these walls, and not one of them is 007. You know,
Yeah.
so it's like Indiana Jones. There again, I've seen all the Indiana Jones. I think it's a
Yeah.
cool character. Doesn't mean I'm a fanboy. You know,
Yeah.
I can't quote Indiana Jones shit. You know, I just sit
Yeah.
back, relax. Like the next movie that comes out, am I going to see it? Yeah. Why? Because I've seen the other ones and I enjoyed them. So I don't know why you can't just enjoy something without becoming a fanboy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like the world is structured that way for us. It's like, oh
It's you have to be full in.
yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like, dude, yes, I like Star Wars,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to sit there and quote a bunch of shit to you. And I'm not going to debate
Yeah.
shit. And I'm not going to be like, oh my God, did you see at this moment? I don't know any of that crap. I just like
Yeah.
Star Wars, you know?
Well, and I had like a full circle Star Wars fandom moment with Fast and the Furious. Like up till 5, like I loved Fast and the Furious.
Right.
Then 6 came out and I'm like, okay, it's different, but it's okay. And then just like when 10 hit, like man, it was a shot to the heart. Now, am I gonna watch the next one? Yeah, of course I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it in
Oh, fuck.
theaters.
Yo, yes, totally.
But I'm probably gonna be disappointed and angry, a la a Star Wars fan watching, you know,
Yeah, the
the
last three
remix.
movies.
Yeah,
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 that just sucked and didn't make
yeah.
any sense. And you're just sitting there going,
Well, the last ones, you know what gets you though? They're exciting in the movie theater.
yes,
And then you go home and you're like, "Man, that kind of sucked though.
yeah.
Like, why'd they do? Because you don't have time to
No,
think when you're in the movie
well,
theater
that's
about,
just it. As soon as you have time to poke holes through it, then you
yeah.
can just like, oh my God, I was just watching a strainer. Like, Jesus, none of that shit makes any sense. Like, wait a minute, they found a knife in a cave. And somehow that knife that's ancient, you could
Yeah.
take to this planet, hold it up to the wreck of the Death Star, which really isn't that old. So how old is this knife? And
Yeah.
then just hold it upright, and then it'll tell you point to where the holocron is. Like, wait a minute, who? And they just guessed where to stand and got it right. It's like
Oh,
I don't know what just happened. It's like a bad Scooby Doo show.
Justin says Dr. Crusher is the same age as my mom. That makes me feel weird.
And she probably looks it. I mean, I gotta be
Fair
honest
enough.
with you. I mean, listen, this is the last season of Picard, thank God, because like he
Is it
doesn't need to
getting
play
long in the
that
tooth?
character anymore. Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
uh, I like him as an actor, but it's also one of those things where it's like, man, even Sean Connery knew in a dip.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I'm going out on top. Everyone loves me as this guy. I'm getting old. I don't need to keep doing this.
When he
So
done it, he timed it perfectly on the first when they ended the first Next Generation the first time. It's like, okay, like everybody was happy with him, and now everyone was happy when he comes back. But if you go on too long, you're gonna get into that weird.
yeah, you won't be alive for the next season. Exactly.
Yeah.
He just needs to hang it up. I mean, the fact that William Shatner's still alive, knock on wood. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just I think that guy's a robot at this point because
Yeah.
how the hell? I mean, he's
Because
outlived them
I
all.
only think that not because he's old, because the way he does his beat poetry.
Dude, I don't know what it is. I mean, he's still on TV.
Yeah.
Like, he still has that weird show that he does where he just sits on a bar stool and talks about shit. Patrick Stewart is 82. Holy
Wow.
fuck. I gotta say, for
Damn.
82, he looks pretty good.
Yeah.
But you can kind of tell that he's had his moments. His
Yeah.
acting isn't totally great. So
What's like the guys at work that retire at 65 and they do nothing, and you see them 2, 3 years down the road, man, they just look 20 years older. And then
yeah,
you have the guys that retire from work and they continue to do a bunch of things, and they pretty much look the same age as they did when they retired.
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, in there again. I mean, you look at like Clint Eastwood.
Yeah,
He's like 100.
yeah,
But he still drives a shitty Lexus to work every day.
Yeah.
Goes to the Paramount lot, has his little desk, writes his little movies, goes out on sets, goes
Yeah.
jogging every day. And it's like, I think the busier you are, time just respects that.
Yeah.
I know that's like utter bullshit, but it's like that whole work, play, time. If you never stop, then neither does time. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
everyone always talks about retirement, and it's great, but no, I mean, if you're just gonna sit in a chair and watch TV
Do
all day long,
nothing. Yeah.
it's just not gonna work out. I mean,
No. Well, it's weird. Like the people that I've even graduated with, and I just look at their pictures on Facebook. Not all of them, but some of them. It's like, man, you look like 20 years older than we actually are. Like, what happened? I don't.
eh.
I don't know what happened.
Oh, dude, and there again, I think I look 50, but we'll be at these events, and everyone will be there, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that guy's the oldest guy in the room," and I say, "How old are you?" "Oh, I'm 40, 47 or
Yeah.
46 or 45," and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, he's the oldest guy in the room."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No kidding. Now you totally you look like my age. And it
I
like when
mean,
I tell people I have like kids that are 20 years old, they're like,
oh yeah,
whoa, what? Huh?
yeah. When did you have those kids?
Yeah.
It was funny. So they were playing this contest called. They were giving away stuff, and they were playing old guy, young guy.
Yeah.
So the youngest kid in the room won the award, and the oldest guy in the room won the award. And I'm sitting in the corner with Fro, and they're trying to find the oldest guy, and everyone's like, 45, 42. If finally someone says, they call out the year, and it was 68,
Oh
and
man.
I was like, oh, thank God. Because
Barely squeezed
I'm
by.
just standing in the corner going, I'm not gonna raise my hand and be like, no, I'm not doing that. But
Yeah.
but the sucky thing is I'm talking to these people and just having fun. And I'm like, all right, I was like, this is a cool game. I'm gonna play this. So when we were giving stuff away, I was like, all right, we're gonna play old guy, young guy. Who's the youngest guy here? And these kids like 99. I'm like, oh my God, I got a
Dang.
daughter your same age. You suck. Get out of here.
That's the year I graduated.
Okay, I was well on.
Yeah.
I was 10
Yeah,
years into
you were
this.
89.
Yeah, exactly. No, I was 90
Yeah.
actually. But yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh no,
Close
yeah.
enough.
Yeah. No, for sure.
No.
But yeah, no, Fro, yeah. I'm sure Fro remembers. We're sitting in the corner of the room and I'm just going, I'm not saying nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this for a hat.
Yes. Well, you would have had the hat. That's how you would have got the hat.
No, actually I just waited and he gave me the hat later. So I was like, all right, cool. I got my free
Yeah.
hat. They're like,
Oh
did you get a
man.
hat? No, I didn't get a hat. Well, let's get you a hat. Let's get me a hat.
I'll wear it on Sunday.
Yeah, yeah. So, oh my gosh. The other thing too, so on the plane I watched a couple things that weren't very good, but they were just documentaries that were
Yeah.
terrible. But I figured out that if I just put on a crappy documentary, then I'll just fall asleep, which is
Yeah.
so I don't even know what I watched. It was so wonderful. And then the other night I was watching TV and I got done with the ghost thing and there was nothing else to watch. And I was like, my head was still going. I was like, you know what? I just needed to fall asleep. And I was like, so I put on a documentary of the plane crash that the one that crashed in the middle of the ocean and they could never find.
Oh, I think I remember.
The one that was flying to like Indonesia or whatever it was,
Yeah.
and boy, the bits and pieces of it I did catch. Oh my God, like we're in the wrong business. We should make bullshit documentaries because
Yeah.
after watching all these documentaries, the one thing I've figured out is that like you could make anything seem like, oh, and then
Yeah.
this happened.
Got to have
And it's like,
just speak in the right tone of voice, had the right
you know,
background music, the
oh yeah, and
stop it, and
it's all
yeah,
bullshit. It's
yeah,
all bullshit. And it's like, and I'm watching like this guy. He found the first piece of the plane because he was like, I need to help. I need to figure this out. And so I went to all the scientists and I said, if parts of this were going to show up somewhere, where would they show up? And I went there and oh my God, there was parts of a plane on the beach just sitting there because the locals had no fucking idea that a plane had crashed 5 years ago or 2 years ago, and they
Yeah.
didn't give a shit because to them it's just trash, you know. So
Yeah.
here he finds like part of a wing, and then they're like, but was it planted? He has
Yeah.
relationships to Russia because he visited there once in his life, and it's like, what the frick?
Yeah.
You guys are nuts. Every documentary's done like clickbait. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
It is.
Um,
We've had like recently, well, within the last 6 months, we've watched a few really good
yeah.
documentaries.
Yeah.
But
And
then
yeah,
we've also watched the horrible.
stupid.
Matter of fact, I don't know what made me do it, but I was going back reading comments through Sidejag. Sometimes I like to check and see what people are saying.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are the guys here that watch,
Yeah.
and Casey. But I love reading the people that don't like just discover this through YouTube and they're like, what the
They're at
fuck
the
are these
normal.
guys talking about? That's great. But just going through and seeing the different levels of like they're just like so confused, like what's going on. This is what I imagine. Like you're watching this documentary, you're like, what the fuck's going on? They're watching a thing called We Have a Ghost dash movie review. And they hear us talk about Kicker or
a job for 10 minutes of their
or
beginning.
job for 10 to 20 minutes, and one of them was even an hour.
Right.
And they're just irate, and I love it. I wanted to reply back to them, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna let them sit like that. They've been prodded enough. I don't need to prod them again.
My first wife left me because my obsession with clickbait, and you won't believe what happened next.
Exactly.
Oh, that's spectacular. Totally off topic. They like,
Yeah. It's just like I get so much joy out of it. I don't know why,
yeah.
but
Well,
but
no,
it's
it
just
was funny. So tonight, I was running on just barely on time, 1 minute, and I was leaving, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta go do 2 hours worth of podcast, and he's like, what do you do podcasts on? And I was like, first one's on car audio, and the other one's just on random shit that we talk about. And he's like, wait, what? And I was like, oh yeah, totally. And he's like, oh, okay. I was like, there's a lot of facets. And it was funny. One of the other funny things it was talking about, and so here's my one of my many flaws. So if you pose a problem to me, I have a problem. Okay, I'll be like, okay. And so one of the things that I do is I'll solve your problem for you, because it's one of the perks of being me, is that because of all the rabbit holes we go down, a lot of exposure, a lot of ability to look at the bigger picture, and sometimes we can pinpoint where your flaw is and tell you what to do, and it's usually pretty spot on. I mean, we've been pretty accurate at it. And so everyone tells me you should open a consulting firm. I was like, yeah, I probably should, because I'm getting tired of doing this shit for free. So we're talking, and we're trying to figure this stuff out. And he goes, yeah, you got to make sure you talk. There might be a couple Toms in the audience. And I go, is that like a Canadian thing? What do you mean Tom's in the audience? He goes, no. You talked about Tom in your training. And I go, oh shit. So my bad problem is that I'll give you the solution to your problem, but then I will promptly forget about it because I need the room for other shit.
Yeah.
And so someone will call me and they're like, dude, that stuff you told me worked great. I'm like, what did I tell you?
Yeah.
And they'll be like, you told me to do this. And I was like, and it worked? Yeah. Oh, cool. No, you don't understand. I'm like, no, you don't understand. I don't remember giving you the advice. Or solving the problem. I just did it, and then it's like I'm done with it.
Yeah, you push out your memory.
Yeah. Well, it's all there, but it's like you have to.
Bring it back up.
Yeah. So he's talking about Tom, and I go, oh shit, yeah, I totally forgot about that. That was hilarious. So, in one of the conversations we had, we're saying, don't be a Tom. Don't be Tom, because because you kind of have to when you're giving these lectures, you kind of have to play sometimes. And
Yeah.
so I just made up the name Tom because I didn't want to use Johnny because I use Johnny for everything. And it's like there's
Mm-hmm.
probably a lot of Johnnies in the room, but not a lot of Toms. So I picked my head went just say Tom. So
Mm-hmm.
Tom was a dick is really where it was going. And so he did that to me tonight. I was just like, oh my God. I had to write it down because like, yeah, that was really good. So,
Don't be
but
Tom.
he remembered more of this than I did. I don't even know where I was going
Yeah.
with this, other than I have this memory loss that happens after I give advice. It's like I can remember some of the dumbest shit, but then like the stuff that I tell people, gone.
Yeah. I've done the same thing with YouTube videos. Like
Yeah.
someone's asked me a question about a specific YouTube video. It's like I would have to watch. I cannot remember.
Oh
Like off
no.
the top of my head, I don't know what I said.
Oh, I dude, Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah.
Hey, remember this? Nope.
Yeah.
Remember that? Nope.
Be like, I say dumb shit on the internet at least twice a week. So
Yeah. Well, but here's the funny part. So, I'll be somewhere. And prime example of this, we were standing outside of this, outside in Arizona. Guys come out of the class, and I said, "So what was because we didn't have time." And so what was the talking points? They start talking about this stuff. I was like, "Oh, tell me more about that." And so he tells me everything he knows that he could remember. I said, "Okay, cool." And so then, like 10 minutes later, someone comes up to us like, "What are you guys talking about?" And I literally recited the whole thing that he had just told me. And he's like, "The hell?" I was like, "What?" He goes, "You weren't even in the class." I said, "Yeah, but you told me what you learned in the class. So now I know. I just answered the question." He was
yeah.
like, "Yeah, but like, I just like," I was like, "What?"
I
"Yeah,
third
but
party
you even
learned the
like
class,
filled in the
bro.
blanks." I was like, "Well, I understood what you were saying."
Yeah.
He goes, "Yeah, but I don't even understood what I was saying." I was like, "Oh, well, I can't help you with that."
Yeah. Yeah. I
And I was like,
definitely like training people in the quality department. It's like, listen, sometimes you're going to have to go from A to C. You're going to have to figure out B. B is not always there for you. So I
"No,
need you, like, if you can't go from A to C and figure out what B is,
yeah,
this ain't the spot for you."
no, for sure." Well, and there again, I have like 3 big lectures to give, presentations, we'll call them.
Yeah.
One of them one of them I'm part of a four-person lecture. I get 15 minutes in the middle somewhere. Another one I have a partner with me, and then the third one I'm by myself. And it's like trying to remember where all these pieces go in the puzzle
Yeah.
because it's like, wow, that's a lot. And then also there's hours on the floor that I have to just do like impromptu shit,
Yeah.
so it's like, man, the brain isn't built for this, but whatever. um
It's, yeah. You know what would be funny though? Like,
what's that?
you got 15 minutes, right?
Oh yeah.
Say you got 16 minutes worth of material. Like at 15 minutes, you just drop the mic.
Yeah.
Whatever the word is, just like, doop.
And
Yeah. 15
next,
minutes, right?
well, and it was funny too because like the 15-minute one was, believe it or not, the hardest one. And
Really?
everyone's been laughing at me like, why are you making this so hard? I'm like, because it's the big one.
Yeah.
It's the most people, and it's like I'm between these two people that like, wow. And they're like, what do you mean, wow? You realize who you are? I'm like, they're probably saying, fuck, I got to come after him. And I'm going, no, they're not. And he's like, you're right. They're not doing that. I'm like, no. Like, dude, you've never seen yourself on a mic before. So good luck. Because it's like, and it's funny too, because like he was talking in the other show when he was on talking about the whole experience at Master Tech. Dude, I swear to God, JBL gave me that stupid box. Even Drew didn't even get to see the fun part. He got to see the end.
Yeah.
And I mean, there was guys who are coming at me going, dude, you killed it on the mic. And I'm like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just being me, man.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I get that. I get that a little bit at work, like in doing presentations. They're like, you're so comfortable, like doing the presentation. It's like, well, I mean, I do this quite often, so I'm just used to it. Like if I mess up, guess what? I'm gonna lean into it. I'm gonna
yeah,
lean into it, and we're gonna roll right through it.
Yeah, because who cares?
Yeah,
No one's
exactly.
gonna remember it. And
Like once you learn that, it's like they're okay. I messed up. Like let's make a joke of it, and then we'll just move on to the next thing.
well, and that's what was killing me on this because it was like everyone's like, dude, you've done this a million times. You only have 15 minutes. Most of the time, you got like an hour and 10 minutes. Like
Yeah,
you only gotta fill this little tiny void. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And like besides, I mean, what are they gonna get out of 15 minutes? And I was like, yeah, because I've done classes for years now trying to say the same shit for
yeah.
hours and ain't changed any worlds yet. So we'll just, hey
But I feel like
guys.
I'd want to pack as much information since it's limited time.
Yeah.
And it's like when you have all the time, it's like okay, I can leisurely do what I want to do.
Yeah.
But I got 15 minutes. I want to get my message across.
Well, yeah. And that was just it. It was like,
Yeah,
and then it was like trying to steer this where it needs to go,
yeah,
and it's like, oh shit. And then it was like, honestly, the best thing about it was, I got stuck in the hospital waiting for Haley to get done with surgery. And it was like, I could focus because there's
yeah.
nothing else I can do. I bought a Starbucks, which, holy shit, you people that drink Starbucks are insane. I don't drink coffee. I got their new summer splash or whatever the hell they're called.
Mm-hmm.
The Dragonberry splash. I don't know. It's got sweet cream on top, pink shit in the bottom. There again, don't know. Don't drink Starbucks. It cost me $7.50. I was kind of surprised because I was like, wow, people complain about Big Mac extra value meal, and I just paid $7.50 for a cup of shit. Something's wrong with this world, Holy fuck. Damn. But it was good. It's good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, and it got me through the PowerPoint. It was like done. They called us to let us know Haley was ready, and I was like, oh shit, I knocked it out of the park.
It made you forget time for a minute.
It did, because well, that was, it was one of those things where it's like I had to focus on this because I didn't want to focus on Haley upstairs getting, cut apart, because that just, as a parent, you just can't do that. So I was able to reel in on this, and was like, oh, this is cool. So
Caffeine Dean, full effect.
No, but there's no caffeine in it though. That's just
there's no caffeine in it.
No,
it's just sugar.
It's just sugar. It's just
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it either way, it did what it needed to do. So I was like, and the sad thing was, I was kind of like, man, I could go for another one of those. And I was like, that was $7.50, maybe in 2 years. Or if I find someone that's buying Starbucks for everyone, I'll be like, give me one of those pink dragon fruit things. That was yummy. And they'll be like, you're a fag. Yeah, get me two. Yeah. So, do we have any movies to watch? Is there anything like?
I don't know that I've saved anything in particular.
Yeah, I haven't.
Let me look here.
I almost feel like I want to watch the Rest of Us, or whatever the hell it's called.
The Last of Us.
The Last of Us. Watch some of that just to, because I think that's all that's probably out.
God, there's a big advertisement for this one.
Oh! What the hell is that? Monkey Shot?
Money Shot. The Pornhub story.
The what?
The Pornhub story.
Oh
my goodness.
Yeah.
Have you watched the thing about the Murdaugh murders, or do you know anything about them?
It was funny because they Haley's friend last night said, "Did you watch this?" And I was like, "No." See, this is what came up on mine: Shadows and Bone. It's a series, and I've watched it. That came up on mine. Luther, which I never watched the series Luther, but I'm probably gonna watch the movie just because I like him. Money Shot. Oh, Razzle Dazzle. I gotta watch that too. Bert Kreischer. I love Bert Kreischer. That's funny, but it's really hard. I don't think it'd be fun to talk about a stand-up comedy community show. Yeah. But I will have to watch that on the plane before I give my speech, so I can just be psyched out and ready to go. Yeah. Oh my gosh. All right, I think we'll have to just call an audible and play this one by ear.
Yeah.
Have you watched Glass Onion yet?
Yeah.
Any good?
I liked it.
Did you need to watch the first one to watch that one?
No,
Okay.
no, nope. There's only one character that crosses over, and it's the main guy, but it's a totally different story.
Okay. So it's like the Orient Express and the
But
other
better.
one. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, if you want to pick that one, I think you'll like it.
Okay. Yeah, I
It's
want to
not
watch
high
that.
cinema, but it's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, let me see if we can. Well, let's do that. Let's throw in Glass Onion,
Okay.
and we'll see where that takes us.
Glass
The
Onion.
first
It
20
is.
minutes is like a teenage scary movie type thing where you shoot at the people for being stupid. You shout at the people for being stupid. Okay. Great. Luther is really good, but the first 20 minutes are not great. Just two stupid things. There again, the bar is low.
Right.
So I just like is Ilbis Abba or whatever the frick his name is.
Yeah, Idris.
Sure.
Something
That
like
guy.
that.
The cool guy.
Yeah.
The only reason why anyone would watch it. Let's be honest.
Well, what's it about?
He's a detective of some kind. It's British. I don't know. The series looked really good, and I was like, oh, I should watch this. Because I think that's what put him on the map. And then, I never got around to it because back then there was like cool shit to watch.
Yeah. Well, Cassie was watching a show called Kingdom of Heaven.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about Mormons, and there's a murder that takes place.
Oh, wow.
And it's in Utah,
yeah,
Zion or whatever. But it looked pretty interesting. That's one, she had already started watching it, so I might actually go back and try to catch up. Because I caught some of it, it looked pretty good.
They had said him, but he's too old to be the next Bond. That's the problem. They'll find another young person to be Bond because he's too old. Like they can't get because you figure
10 movies.
Yeah, I mean you need at least 10 years of good time. They're not just going to do a one-off Bond.
Who would you pick? Who would you pick for a Bond? We got 3 minutes left.
I don't know enough British characters.
Do you think they have to be British, or can they just play?
No,
British?
They have to be British. No, they have to.
To be British.
Have to be British. Like
would French Canadian count?
No, I think they have to be British.
Like legit British.
Like legit British. God save the Queen.
So what about what the hell's his name? The dude from House of the Dragon. Doctor Who.
He's too old.
How old is he?
He's too old. Yeah, he's too old.
So who would you?
And he's already been Doctor Who, so he's already out. He's out.
Yeah.
You need a young guy. Like maybe Bullet Train, the dude from Bullet Train that was in Kick-Ass. That kid. He's probably in his 30s now.
I'm trying to think British. Who in Bullet Train.
Harvey Keitel is too old too, and he was in that other movie where he was an agent and he sucked in it. So, he's not.
Yeah.
Harry Cavill, whatever.
Yeah, Henry Cavill.
He's too old. He's too old.
I'm trying to think. I don't know. I don't know a lot of good British actors that.
There again,
I might not even know that they're British, though.
Well, and that's the thing. I don't think we know most of them are British because they come over here and they adopt their American accent.
Yeah. Well, they talk properly when they get here and on TV.
Yeah. They lose the whole. Hey, Mike.
Hey, I did. There was a comedian. I can't remember who said it, but he's like, even British people know not to sing in a British accent because you sound stupid.
Oh man, that is horrible. That is so bad.
Sorry, Mr. E.
Well, it was funny. The I can't think of his name. The Australian comedian that I just watched a couple weeks ago. He talks in English.
Yeah.
He's very Australian when he's talking, but then he changes his voice to play a character in the show, and and it's like Haley was just like, "That's amazing," and I'm like, "Dude, I do it all the time."
Yeah.
She's like, "Yeah, but he's a professional," and I'm like, "The fuck."
Yeah. Well, that's like
Yeah, the
Ellie
Walking Dead
from The
dude.
Last of Us. She's British as hell, but you would never know it
Right.
until you hear her speak how she normally speaks.
Well, and like Elvis,
Idris Elba, yeah.
there again,
He
he
kind of sounds British all the time, though.
yeah, but he does well at he can mask it a lot. Because like
Yeah.
when you're hearing him talk like on late night, it's like, whoa, dude,
I think
what
he's
happened?
just so cool that like you just forget about it.
Well, you do, but you also go
Yeah.
like, wow, he's really pouring it on. Like,
Yeah.
dude, you're not trying.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't have this problem to worry about. So
No, me neither.
I wish I did, but I can't. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I hide my British accent while I'm on
Yeah.
with you guys. It's
Yeah.
just terrible.
Plus, we're not cool.
That was
Anyway,
an
so
Aussie accent.
yeah.
I get to go play. Like I said, I get to go spend a week or half a week with the Canadians. So, and these guys are all French Canadian. The guys I'll
Oh,
be hanging out with are all French Canadian.
extra.
Oh, dude, so extra. Because it's like,
Yeah.
slow it down. Look, I'm gonna play the arrogant white guy card here and be like,
Yeah.
I'm from America.
Well, listen, that's a good thing about having like a Southern accent like I do. They already think you're stupid.
Oh
So
yeah,
they'll just automatically slow it down for you.
yeah, which I'm cool
You don't even
with.
got to say anything. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, I'm good.
Oh, for sure, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I got blessed with whatever I got, which
Yeah.
they just go, oh yeah, just a white guy.
Yeah. They're like, this dude's Midwest as hell.
Yeah, no. He's just like, where are you from? Nowhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Generic white guy.
I was born in the South. Can't you tell from my accent?
Yeah.
What? No.
Yeah.
It's always funny too, like especially talking with the Canadians when like the closer you are to Canada, like I was born in Michigan, so they'll be like, "Where are you from?" I'm like, "I was born in Michigan." They're like, oh, and then you go, "Yeah." So here's the funny story: all my ancestors came from your shithole, and the farthest they got in the United States was Michigan.
Yeah.
They're all stupid. They literally traded one freaking Icelandic terror to the next. The only thing separating us was a body of water. They're like, if we can make it over the water, then we'll be home free.
Yeah.
And they just look at you like, damn.
And we'll just build American cars for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We need to get out of Canada. Where should we go? Michigan. Wait, what?
Yeah. It's U.S.
dumb.
Canada.
Yeah, it took another 30
with the
years
high crime rate.
Yeah, it took another 60 years before we decided that it was time to get out of Michigan and move to Florida. So we could get out of this cold, shitty weather.
Yeah.
But hey, for you guys that like the cold weather, that's okay. It's not shitty. It's just you like it and I don't, which is all right. Oh, I know the documentary I watched, but it's too late. I watched the Mr. Rogers documentary.
Oh, I've been wanting to watch that.
Oh, it's totally worth it. I didn't fall asleep for that, but we'll have to save that for another night.
I'll check it.
It's definitely worth watching. Not the movie with Tom Hanks, but the actual documentary about his life. It's pretty good.
I've been wanting to watch that. I didn't know it was out, but I will.
Yep. I think it's on Netflix or Hulu or something that I could watch on my phone. But hey, guys, thank you so much for chiming into us. We won't be out next week. I'll be in the Great White North, Bob and Doug McKenzie style. So Strange brewing it up. But thank you guys for playing with us tonight, and we'll see you next time.